So it's nice to have another green Monday, isn't it? I'm Ash and welcome to the channel. If you're new around here, feel free to drop a like. It helps the algorithm just push this video a bit further. Now, I want to know from you guys, what is your favorite altcoin? On Thursday, I'm looking to do a video based off what you guys are actually holding. So let me know in the comments below. Obviously, put the thumbs up as well, interact with it. Make sure I can see what is the obvious ones. So in today's video, I'm going to go through, as normal, the market sentiment and the market news in crypto and the macro. Please make sure you wait till the end because I'm going to do technical analysis, so you may miss out on some things if you've missed that part. We have a lot to unpack here because of China, the China pump, as you can see by the thumbnail. We've also got SEC drama and the most obvious, tomorrow, BUSD will stop minting. If you do like my content, please make sure you check out Patreon. I do extra videos there, 4 per week, plus a live stream, as well as a pretty awesome Discord community. So as I alluded to before, the macro. The US market is closed today. However, there is GDP this week. There is also Coinbase earnings this week to navigate. So maybe this green may not last forever. However, market sentiment and the element of a recession and a hedge against that is pretty strong for crypto, as per this video would suggest. So without further ado, let's jump onto the screen. So the main thing here is the fact that the Chinese coins, or the narrative between those, are pumping quite significantly. I want to explain why. So basically, there's a big element that maybe you can see here. In recent days, more and more experts on crypto Twitter, now obviously use that as a pinch of salt, are forecasting that Chinese coins are coming to pump due to the regulation easements in Hong Kong and the prospect of a quantitative easing in China. Quantitative easing is a big thing. This is what makes markets go up. And guess what? Boom. Inflation will go up. What we're experiencing right now in the world of Europe, US, and other continents, right? So you can see on that tweet there how it's kind of looked and all the reversions and how it's going mental. It's an interesting point. So this would indicate why a lot of things have been going up recently. More investment money, money printing, capital to use. Let's just go. And it has shown in the market, right? So bear that in mind. The likes of Vechain doing well. The likes of Dot doing well recently. And obviously you can see other things and sort of other elements that could be found within. Now, talking about Dot, this is old news, but I think more and more people are starting to get on board with this now that the morphing from a security into software, and it is okay in the green light version of the SEC. What has happened this week? Or last week, sorry. The SEC is coming on things like a ton of bricks, like a Coinbase, like a Kraken, BUSD, which I will talk about in a second. Crazy, right, when you think about it. So with that in mind, people are looking at, Polkadot, okay. And it has gone up quite a lot. So has Moonbeam, so has A-Star. A-Star's gone up a huge amount of money recently, right? But as you can imagine, people are going to be looking at this. And I know a lot of people are like, I like Polkadot. I think a lot of people don't understand what Polkadot is. And if you look at where Ethereum was back in the day and versus Polkadot now, it's still growing, it's still building, it's still getting that ecosystem going. So just a bit of patience, please, right? And this is fantastic news, realistically. I know it's old news, but I think more and more people are coming on board with it because of what's happened last week. So bear that in mind. Another thing to look at, and the obvious one, is the fact that BTC is starting to get more and more bullish. Now, this is just me waffling some stuff, right? When Bitcoin is bullish, people are taking notice, right? And what we've just seen here is they have already overtaken the Visa market cap for the third time. This has happened a few times before, right? It does happen quite a lot with traditional markets spending and all kinds of stuff. And obviously the S&P is not doing too good. And that is obviously happening with the fact of drops in the market, right? However, when we look at the consumer confidence, when BTC is very, very strong, all the rest of the market is as well. So it obviously gets that press and that information again, news, information, relatively new article. And again, it's a big recovery. When you think the speed of the recovery that we've done since the FTX kind of situations we've had, really, really good. So it's important. But the final bit of news for crypto is the obvious one really, is tomorrow the BUSD currency by Paco's Trust Company will be stopping to mint, right? I don't know what's going to happen here personally. I think we're going to see a lot more people going to USDT, Tether, DAI as well. If you follow me on Patreon, you'll know what I'm doing with a certain coin. I'm not going to reveal it here because I think that's unfair. But there's a couple of things I am keeping an eye on because the narrative may change. There's two of them. One of them's in a portfolio, one of them is in my own, right? It's because of this. If you use your imagination, you'll probably figure out what it is. Now, with that being said, this may well affect the USD dominance and the stable dominance. And it also may mean people may go into crypto fully instead of trusting, and this is a big thing, this is me just jumping, they may well not trust stable coins in the future, right? So if you think of that narrative, people may buy Ethereum, they may buy Bitcoin, they may buy Polkadot, Cardano, whatever. So bear that in mind too. That's always a potential. But let's talk about the macro first before we go on to the technical analysis, because there's some big earnings. Coinbase as well, it's not listed on here, but there is Coinbase this week on Tuesday. The US market is closed today. PMIs for Japan, US existing home sales, and mortgage applications on Tuesday, Wednesday. Oh, lovely. Now, minutes, whatever, we already know what they are. But the fundamental element that I'm worried about is obviously US GDP on Thursday, and obviously initial jobless claims, but as well, we have G20 ministers and central bank governors meeting in India over the course of the Thursday, Friday, as well as CPI in Japan. Japan have always had a little bit of an interest for us guys over in Europe and also in America in terms of what Japan are doing, because it's a massive currency. The yen is huge. So maybe some wobbles in the market if some of this data is crap. But the CPI came in hot last week, and it didn't really affect the market much in crypto. Crypto's got its own fundamentals. It's doing very, very well. Lovely. Anyways, the obvious. As I said before, GDP, right? I want to talk about this a little bit more because this is important. This shows you the expansion or the unexpansion, or whatever you want to call it, in terms of narrative words, of the economy, right? Is America healthy or is it not? We already know it's at its credit limit. Can't make any more money, can it? So it needs to create money somewhere. And the forecast isn't great. However, it wasn't too, we totally missed last time. We were in the middle, right? Realistically. However, this time the consensus is it's expected to go down again, right? But we'll see. We'll see how things go. Anyways, should we go to the charts? I think we should. Now, let's talk about it. Bitcoin doing pretty well. I think TradingView is broken. I think the red is not working anymore in crypto. That is my main watch list. These are not investments, by the way. I know a lot of people go, oh, you're investing in this. No, I'm not. It's like everyone, when I did my portfolio, thought you were XRP. I was convinced you were XRP. No. But yeah, you get the idea, right? But in terms of all this, we've got to look at the obvious. This is the weekly time frame. It's getting quite good, isn't it? Now, teleportation. There might be teleportation between one thing and one thing only. We may go to 30k pretty quickly. Why? Because we've got a massive gap here. This is a huge gap. Look at it, boys and girls. This is a biggie, right? If we break above 25k with clear conviction, I imagine all the media, everyone, your cat, your dog, your fish, are going to be going buy Bitcoin. The narrative of retail will return. Now, a couple of months ago, I was saying that retail will not come into this market until something happens. This is the kind of thing you want. Retail, you watching this channel over the last few months with the bearish outlook and looking at the other side of it, you're not retail realistic because you're still here. Retail are people who will come in late, very late, right? As in 35, 45, $55,000 Bitcoin and go, oh, pump our bags, right? Now, with that in mind, we've been accumulating. I've been accumulating in these levels. You'll know this. If you're in Patreon, you'll know you've seen it. You've seen what I've been doing. However, YouTube, I don't always portray it as real time for obvious reasons because I've got people over there, which makes sense, right? But with retail narrative, even with a credit crunch, spending crisis, freaking supply and demand problems all over the place and you can't get your shoes done, all this stuff, people will not care about that because they will want to make money. What happens? The UK, US, Japan, whatever, all have the same mindset. If you go to a shop, you're looking for a cheap good. If you're in a market, if it's green, if it looks good, you'll buy it regardless of the price, right? Remember that. So we may well, if we break above this level with conviction, teleportation might happen because there's going to be a massive gap. Unless there's a ton of bears camping here, But the narrative of the bullish market is starting to get stronger and stronger. Now, this does not mean it's a bull market. We may well go into this region and we may well flicker for a while in between this region. These are strong historic levels. They may not budge. Now, let me just show you something. What if this rejects, we may well find the 20k as a bottom level and 25k as a top. If it flips, right, we may well find, now look left. Just look left, boys and girls. Look at all this shite here to the boom, boom. It may well be this level to this level, this level to this level. If that happens, I'm all for it. That'll do nicely. So we may well be looking at that, right? So bear that in mind. Not to use a pun, but again, as I say, you've still got level 20k, okay, to worry about. Other things to look at, Ethereum, not looking great, a bit boring, but again, similar sort of element. This has got a more interesting teleportation kind of thing. So obviously it could go to 2k. If it goes above 2k, it could go much higher. So bear that in mind as well. It's looking interesting. But again, if we're looking at this top indicator here, now on the weekly time frame, on the EMA 55, we've crossed above it for the first time in a very, very long time, right? With structure breaks. The other ones didn't have structure breaks, just went above the EMA. This one has finally broken structure and it actually held up once, and obviously previous level as well. So it's looking good. It's corrected. It's a bang. This is the stable currency dominance. As I say, a huge factor in the market right now, certainly when you look at the minting of BUSD. So it's important, right? But yeah, that's looking interesting. In terms of the total market cap and stuff like that, similar sort of situation, right? We're in a kind of a range, but at the same time, we're starting to slowly break structure. Bear with me. Let me just make that a bit more colourful so you can kind of see it. I have changed my colours a little bit just so they pop a bit more. But you can see here, we have broken structure here. We're above this level. This is the next level to break. $1.4 trillion. No, 1.14, sorry. A little bit higher than that. But what we're noticing here over the last few days is the total 3 and the total 2 market cap has been pumping more, because obviously people have been moving into altcoins more than Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been kind of steadfast for the last few days, not been doing much. Obviously, if you go to the lower time frames, you can kind of see it's not been perfect. But likes of altcoins, you know, if we're going to look at likes of Near Protocol, for example, much bigger run. Polkadot, massive run, huge narrative push here, looking very, very healthy and toasty, which is good. So enjoy the upside. And I want to give you one warning about profit taking. Now, I'm a big advocate of profit taking. I'm an advocate of freaking, you know, running a mile, essentially, if you've got some profit. Don't go too hastily on this, because there's still a long way to go. If we are witnessing, now this is a big word, witnessing, if, all those words, the start of the bull cycle, do not take profit here. Freaking hell. I mean, you've just got to zoom out. Look at the monthly time frame and the weekly time frame on Polkadot as an example here, right? I know if you bought at like $4.50, you're looking pretty good right now. But you got to look at the bigger picture of this, boys and girls, please. Even if we go lower, there's time to accumulate. Even if we sit around here for like 6 months to 9 months, whatever. But look at the potential that could happen if the markets rip. If the BTC narrative of halving continues again. If people are going to look at recessions and look at BTC and other altcoins as a hedge against it, please do not be like, I'm taking profit, you know, $10 looks good, $5 looks good on this, you know, random assets. Don't do it off just a number. Look at genuine sentiment. Look at what is happening. That stable currency dominance, this has changed massively. We've been melting. There was no need for you to be in this market all of last year. And guess what? Who was bearish all of last year? Some guy called Ash, known as like Market Mobster, right? Now the narrative has changed, right? Things are showing signs of life. 1 year bear market, well, just over a year of a bear market. Cool. Things are changing. That doesn't mean a bull market. It just means we may well be coming out of that bear market completely. But as I say, if we do go lower, there's an opportunity here. You have not missed the boat. Essentially, if you're looking at the bigger picture, you have not missed the boat. Anyways, I'm going to stop talking now. If you enjoyed this video, please do leave a like. I hope you do like the improved video production as well. I have put a lot of effort into this, certainly to get my lighting right. I am improving, trying to make it better. I'm trying to make my microphone better too. But yeah, if you do like my content, leave a like. If you want to see more of me, hit that subscribe button. And awfully mean to ask, but press that bell button, because I don't really want you to miss my content. See you later.